Now, one of the questions that comes up, and is also an update for you guys, is that as we're thinking about these big things and starting things and whatnot, one of the issues is our facilities, right? We really don't have enough room to do this tonight. It is absolutely crammed in here. How do we address our facility challenges? We have been talking about this as elders as long as I can remember. And all the elders would say, amen, hear, hear, okay? We've been talking about it forever. And we've been aware of our need for space, but the reality is we have prayed and looked and dreamed and knocked on doors and tried to start conversations and plant seeds in the whole thing. Guess what? There's just been no open doors. There's never been an open door for us until now. Dun, dun, dun. Hold on. Wow. We're going to talk about that at our next family meeting. So here's what happened. We asked all of you to pray. One of the things we asked you to pray for through the fall was for some sort of facility solution. And quite frankly, the elders were very sensitive about asking for that because we knew some of you were looking at losing your jobs and we're like, hey, while you're praying for your job, will you pray for it? Oh gosh, but okay, so we asked you to do it. You guys did it. And at a recent elder meeting, we were talking about, okay, how can we move forward? Wouldn't it be great if we had a large space in our community? Yes, it doesn't exist. It's just not there. We've looked, trust me, we've asked, we've knocked on doors, it doesn't exist. So we're like, okay, well, what can we do? And so we said, okay, we own this space. Wouldn't it be great if we owned the entire complex up here? Right? But in order for that to happen, it would have to be for sale, and we'd have to have money. But maybe we could incrementally move into all the space here. What if we could start acquiring space until we owned the entire thing together? So we talked about that, and that seemed to be the most practical way for us to move forward. So we prayed at that elder meeting. That elder meeting went to 11? Yeah, something like that. We're trying to forget that. That was a Tuesday night. On Wednesday, we had our staff meeting, and we're at the table out in the foyer there, and we see the owner of the other buildings in the parking lot. So Brandon's like, hey, should I go talk to the guy? I'm like, yeah, go talk to the guy. That sounds great. So he goes out, and I don't remember, maybe Krista said, maybe we should pray or something like that. Did you say that, Krista? Where's she at? Nobody said, somebody said it. We should pray. Okay, so we're going to pray. So we just prayed, God, would you give Brandon favor as he talks to this guy? Because cool guy, but not a whole lot of favor in terms of our church getting space. So Brandon's out there for a while, and he comes back, and he's got the Brando smile. Like, oh, this is going to be good. He goes, do you want to know? Like, no, save it for next week. Like, yeah, we want to know. So he talks to the guy, and some of you have noticed the bazillion cars in the parking lot over here from this heating company that just disappeared in November or something. Haven't been there. And so Brandon informs us that the owner would love to lease us some space as soon as possible, and that he's also interested in selling us both of the buildings in the future and gave us permission to share that with you. And so, is it effective immediately? Yeah. Just nod, yeah? Kind of. So right now we're finalizing, is that what you're saying? We have come to an agreement to lease this end of that building right next door. And that will be, there it is, right there, okay? So what we're getting is 3,900 square foot of space, and that's going to give us a little over 2,000 square feet of what is going to become, so you see this warehouse here, and it opens up to the warehouse back there. The plan is to make that designated youth space. So all of you youth, you'll have your own cool space set up just for you. Don't have to worry about bouncing the projectors anymore. Because we know you do that. No more hitting the cameras. No more throwing up all over the stage again. No, just kidding. That didn't happen. So we're going to get a little over 2,000 square feet of designated youth space, which we'll also be able to use for midweek classes and stuff as we need. It's going to provide us for the first time in our life with a good amount of designated office space for all of our staff and the people who work here. And most importantly, I guess we had a bunch of pictures of the inside. You can just scroll through those. So this is the designated office space. There's literally invoices still on the desk because the company just I don't know what happened. It's weird. If you were a fan of Timothy LaHaye, you'd be like, maybe we all got left behind. But then you'd come to the Revelation class and you'd realize, no, that's ridiculous. Okay, so here's this office space, and the pictures will scroll through it. So we're going to designated office space for all of our staff, a great designated space for our youth. And one of the reasons that's so important is not just because it opens that space for us, but it also opens up the door to remodel in here to get more seating in our sanctuary, right? Yes. All the sharp metal will be gone, by the way, when we go in there. So I think next week we're talking with the architects, okay? And we're going to consider options for turning that whole space into balcony seating or blowing out all those back doors and just increasing the footprint of our sanctuary. But we'll be able to do that because of this lease that we have. So, God has been doing a lot, amen? There's a lot for us to dream about and to work on executing, but God has been incredibly gracious to us.